everybody, and welcome to BattleBots, where a robot's main function is total destruction. I'm Chris Rose, joined by UFC legend and fight analyst, a guy so tough, his middle name is Torture. It's Kenny Florian.
Chris, we've been through this. It's Alan.
Whatever. Torture sounds way cooler than Alan, dude. Anyway, this is our 5th year doing BattleBots together, and I gotta say this. So far, this has been the most exciting, unpredictable, and savage season ever. Just when you thought you'd seen everything, this box delivers even more jaw-dropping, bot-breaking moments.
And tonight will be no different. As we reach the middle of the qualifying rounds, impressing the selection committee is what it's all about. And this fight card features 14 teams looking to do just that.
We've got Malice and Mad Catter, a couple of surprise teams sitting at 2-0. You have to imagine whoever wins this matchup will punch their ticket to this year's tournament. And on the other end of the spectrum, fan favorite Edward Robinson will pit his work of art, Sharko, against 14-year-old rookie Bryce Yankauskis and Slapbox. Both sitting at 0-1, they will be fighting for their BattleBots lives tonight. And it all leads up to a momentous main event between a couple of bots built by MIT alums. It's Sawblaze taking on Uppercut.
That's right, this one is really interesting because Uppercut's captain Alex Hattori actually used to be on Jameson Go's team Sawblaze. Each are coming off huge 1-0 starts, but do we see the pupil become the master tonight, Chris? This one could be explosive.
And for more on this clash between the kids from Cambridge, let's head down to the third member of our team, Jenny Taft.
There's a lot on the line when it comes to MIT bragging rights between Alex from Uppercut and Jameson from Sawblaze. But really, that's not how they like to view this thing. They're like family. There's so much history here. Alex was mentored by Jameson, so much so that Jameson told me he's almost like Alex's BattleBots dad. Alex told me he got his rookie mistakes out of the way. He's here to compete, but either way, these two, whoever wins, it's gonna be hard on the other.
Thank you very much, Jenny. Both teams look like they're cramming for the final exam down there. Hope they know we don't grade on a curve. But boy, oh boy, do we have a treat for you to kick things off tonight. It's a clash between two of the hardest-hitting horizontal spinners on the planet. Leanne Cushing and Valkyrie take on Victor Soto and Rotator, and both teams are planning for an all-out slugfest. Victor Soto has established Rotator as one of the most lethal bots in the business.
That was unbelievable!
But after a controversial split decision,
Winner,
and only a few fights left in the qualifiers, tonight is a must-win matchup. Valkyrie's 1-0. But after having weapons issues in their first fight,
Valkyrie's weapon is stop moving.
Captain Leanne Cushing still has everything to prove.
Tantrum is knocked out. I'm pretty confident in this season.
And against an elite driver like Victor Soto, that means there's no margin
What a shot!
for error.
It's the heaviest weapon that we've had, spinning at approximately 2,500 RPM.
Our weapons are made out of the same material. When you have hard versus hard, sparks are gonna fly.
I think we're gonna cause some damage.
You buckle up for safety, are you ready?
I'm very ready.
Farouk, let's do this.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's robot fighting time! In the blue square, this bot got her name from Norse mythology, and she'll mess up your head like a forced lobotomy. I never studied that stuff, but this bot is pretty lethal, so I'll just assume she's the goddess of killing people. It's Valkyrie!
Kenny, the blade Valkyrie is using tonight is named Glory. What are they hoping to do with it?
Yeah, their 65-pound blade there has an extra tooth compared to Rotator's bar spinner. They're hoping when the two bots collide, Glory's teeth hit at a different interval and get in some deeper shots.
Leanne Cushing told us she so badly wants to reach the round of 16. If she takes down a bot like Rotator, that could go a long way.
And Chris, they've got the bot and driver to do that. Frederick Moore there in the middle is one of the best drivers in the business.
In the red square, this bot's got more designs than roles Johnny Depp lands, has more blades than Edward Scissorhands. Like Captain Jack Sparrow, it'll sink your ship. Except in this world, it's your bot that will flip. I think we just found out what's eating Gilbert Grape. Just like the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, this bot will decapitate. It's Rotator!
Well, Kenny, sounds like Victor Soto is preparing for war. Tell us about their armor configuration.
Well, they've added a big wedge to the back end of Rotator, and that thing is all armor. Victor's going to use that as a shield, and I think he might try to outlast Valkyrie here.
And with that singular blade on the bottom, it's up from 40 to 50 pounds this year, so it could dish out even more punishment.
Either way, this should be a slugfest. And there's a good shot of that wedge I was talking about, Chris.
So now we're fighting Valkyrie, and I'm going with a defensive configuration similar to what I use against Icewave and Tombstone. Instead of having a high blade, I'm going to go with a low blade this time. So it'll be undercutter versus undercutter. Valkyrie is a very hard-hitting robot. They use a very powerful motor. It's going to be hard to stop their blade, and we're aiming for the wheels. We shouldn't need too much weapon power to chop up some wheels.
He's won the most destructive award. So yeah, it's either gonna go really great for us or really poorly. Victor has a lot more experience in combat robots than us, so we're kind of a little bit jittery there, but like when we went to do weigh-in, he was like 17 pounds overweight. And so that means he was trying to put in as much extra protection against us as possible, which means he's scared. A little bit at least. I don't want to be overconfident, but like, I think that's a very good sign.
Robots activate.
So let's bring in our bot whisperer, Peter. Pete, these bots very similar in terms of what they've chosen for a weapon here. What do you expect to see?
When Rotator spins around and goes weapon to weapon in the contact, there is going to be a lot of sparks, and most likely somebody's weapon is going to break. The wedge that Rotator chose is probably his best bet to help get Valkyrie up and over the top of him.
I like that. Sparks and weapons coming off. Sign me up.
Rotator starting out wedge forward here.
There's the sparks Pete was talking about. Victor Soto keeping that big wedge pointed towards Valkyrie. Oh, and now pops Leanne Cushing's spot up onto its heels.
Rotator winning the battle for low ground here early, Chris.
Oh, Valkyrie knocks Rotator into the side of the box. Uh-oh. Oh, Valkyrie goes over the top, and there's some shrapnel. Wow. And the pulverizer just misses Valkyrie.
Rotator is committed to feeding Valkyrie that wedge.
Oh, Valkyrie sent a little off kilter, but recovers nicely. Both teams refusing to back down. Oh, Rotator launches Valkyrie, and now keeping the pressure on. The driver for Valkyrie, Frederick Moore, doing his best to keep it centered, and wow, takes another big shot from Rotator. Oh, Rotator trying to take Valkyrie into the screws.
Victor Soto with some masterful driving here, Chris. He's leading with that wedge, but then swinging Rotator's blade around to catch Valkyrie and score points with his weapon.
And how about the durability of these two bots? Trading shots, oh, like a couple of heavyweight prize fighters, and now Valkyrie popped on its heels once again.
The momentum on that blade just keeping Valkyrie suspended in air.
Unreal, look at the sparks. Yeah. Are we shooting this thing on July 4th? This is awesome. Leanne Cushing continuing to attack.
Valkyrie now starting to do some damage to that wedge, and looks like there's some damage to the tire and rotator as well.
Unbelievable,
Whoa.
the sparks that are flying in this one. Closing in on a minute 15.
This is some amazing driving from both teams.
Wow. Valkyrie making a push now, showing no signs of the durability issues that have plagued them in the past. That blade is still going strong.
Some of these shots have just been insane. Uh-oh, there's a piece of armor from Rotator now.
I mean, how long can these two robots keep this up?
The tide is turning a little bit here, Chris. It looks like Valkyrie's starting to get the better of Rotator.
Oh! Valkyrie can smell some blood. Going at it with Rotator.
Oh, there's another big shot from Valkyrie.
Rotator stumbling around. Closing in on the 30-second mark. Do both these bots have enough strength to make it the distance?
Valkyrie is really finishing strong, and how about that? Pieces of Rotator all over the battle box.
Valkyrie rips Rotator's wedge off its chassis. Are you kidding me? But somehow Rotator is still moving.
It's stumbling though, Chris. It's moving, but it's stumbling.
Both these bots, somehow they're gonna make it the distance in an unbelievable, epic BattleBots fight! Up on your feet at home if you aren't already! That was unbelievable!
What a fight.
Look at that! Stuck alongside the side of the battle box.
That was sick.
So now this one goes to the judges, Derek Young, Lisa Winter, and Jason Bardis.
Can we look inside? Can we?
And you don't see this very often. The three judges have requested to go inside the battle box to inspect the amount of damage that's been done to each robot.
Yeah, that obviously indicates they believe this was a very close fight. They're going to make sure they get this one right. And you know Victor Soto has to appreciate this, having just lost a close decision to Vita.
Well, we're going to let the judges continue to assess the carnage, and we will have the decision to this absolutely epic showdown when we return on BattleBots. Welcome back to BattleBots, where Valkyrie and Rotator are awaiting a judge's decision in what can only be described as an instant classic. The teams are being scored on an 11-point scale. 5 points can be awarded for damage, 3 apiece for control and aggression. And early on, Kenny, Rotator was scoring points in all 3 of those categories.
Yeah, Rotator got off to a brilliant start. Clearly the right call to go with that big rear wedge for this matchup. Victor was able to get underneath Valkyrie, bullied around the box, and really put Leanne's weapon to the test.
It was hard to track the number of giant blows these two bots traded under the roar of the crowd, but both weapons just did not stop.
Yeah, we're used to seeing Rotator be indestructible, and Valkyrie has had durability issues in the past, but no sign of those tonight, as it was able to absorb huge shots and dish out punishment of its own.
And with about 30 seconds remaining in the fight, Valkyrie able to rip that rear wedge clean off of Rotator. It was impressive.
It'll be tough to see either of these teams take a loss after this amazing fight, but Valkyrie clearly winning the damage category with that shot.
Well, let's see if the judges agree.
The results from the judges are in. And the winner by unanimous decision is... Dun, 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 Valkyrie!
Leanne, hate to break up the party. How good does it feel to be a part of one of the greatest fights in the history of BattleBots?
Oh my God. I am so amazed that we just kept going. I love that our robot doesn't die. Yeah, I'm great with Fred did amazing driving. We just kept going. Our new weapon worked incredibly well. Like, feels good. Feels really good.
It seemed like Rotator got the better of you guys early in the fight. It seemed like, Fred, you made some excellent adjustments during that fight. What were those adjustments?
I mean, one of the biggest things that we always try to do with Valkyrie on our other fights is get a big hit right up front, right early. Normally that's enough to turn him off, but Victor, he's a very good builder. He's been doing this forever, and he knew that's exactly what he wanted me to do. He was gonna tank those hits on his wedge, and so after that, get him out into the middle, get him faked out on the side, go for the wheels, try to hit his weapon because we really want to break that. I didn't think we were going to get through his wedge, but I'm mighty happy that we did.
Yeah, like a lot of chunk, and I'm surprised we actually ate it.
Leanne, before the season started, you told us how important it was for you to crack the top 16 this year. When you look at this sort of performance from your robot, do you have bigger dreams now?
No, don't jinx anything. I'm glad we are 2-0. That's awesome. We'll see how we keep going. We'll see who we get next.
Congratulations, Leanne Cushing and Team Valkyrie. A job well done. Thanks for the entertainment.
Thanks. Woo!
Victor Soto, after a fight like that, how tough is it when you hear that sort of judge's decision?
I'm not too surprised by that decision, to be honest.
Why?
Due to the new damage system or the new point system where damage is highest, they obviously did a lot more damage to us. At the end, both our weapons weren't working and drive were still working, but we were missing half our bot.
Is there anything you'd like to say to the selection committee just based on that performance alone?
Yeah, we're tough as nails. We're gonna fix it up, come right back, and give big matches. Don't lose sight of us yet.
Very good. Victor Soto and Team Rotator, an amazing, amazing fight. I know it didn't end up the way you wanted, but still, congratulations on an amazing performance.
Thank you.
Woo-wee, what an amazing way to get the evening started, huh?
I got to slow my heart rate down. What a fight. I mean, that's an absolute classic.
I mean, neither team is really a loser. I know that Rotator, you know, you get a number under the L category here, but so impressive by both bots.
Maybe I'm biased, but just moving forward, no matter what happens with these teams, put them in the top 32. That was just ridiculous.
All right. Well, Kenny, I certainly hope you got that heart rate under control because our next two bots are ready to throw down. We've got Gigabyte squaring off against Extinguisher. It's the unpredictable kinetic energy of John Mladnick's full-body spinner against a hopeful University of Florida freshman, John Flack. Both teams still looking for that elusive first W. Let's head on over to Farouk.
In the blue square from Oceanside, California, ready to turn you into surf and turf, it's Gigabyte.
Well, that flame design on Gigabyte is new for this season. So, Kenny, how do they catch fire tonight against Extinguisher?
Well, they got trapped in the corner in their first fight and got their shell knocked off. Gotta stay in the center tonight, Chris. It always works better when your head stays on. They gotta keep the head on.
Huh. Details.
In the red square from Tampa Bay, Florida, hoping to make it Champ Bay, it's Extinguisher.
John Flack actually did some computer engineering for his local fire department for his senior project. That's why you see the shirts and the bot design that way and the sirens. Unless that's the cops coming to get you, Kenny. So when Extinguisher's going right, what's working?
Well, they're going to have to utilize that wedge to really hit Gigabyte as hard as possible, get him up against the side of the battle box, and get that hammer to fire down on top of it.
We're fighting Extinguisher. I was confident last fight that didn't work out, so I'm I'm cautiously optimistic on this. I think if we can get up to speed, we're going to win that fight. We have to be able to spin up and not break. If we lose this, we'll have more fights, but there's no chance of us getting into the final 32. It's the whole season.
Today we're fighting Gigabyte. We're using our hammer module. We want to use a heavy wedge on the front. Just going to try to plow into him with the wedge at really high speeds and hopefully knock something loose. Even at a slow speed, we're going to try to poke the hammer through the lid and get to some of the internal stuff.
Robots activate.
And Kenny, one other thing Gigabyte struggled with in its first fight was the floor.
Yeah, Chris, but the floor has seasoned quite a bit since then, so let's see if they're able to control things a little better here.
Blue team ready. Red team ready.
Both teams need this one. When it comes to making the tournament, 0-2 is a deep hole to climb out of. Let the battle begin. Extinguisher whiffs on the box rush.
Gigabyte has time to spin up.
Oh, a monster shot. Extinguisher on its back, but is able to self-right. Wow. Extinguisher misses with the hammer, and Gigabyte capitalizes. And Kenny, that hammer's now toast. Whoa! Big time energy. And the front wedge on Extinguisher, the left side of it, is missing a chunk.
Extinguisher looking outclassed here, Chris. Gigabyte is still hovering at full speed.
Whoa! Another huge shot. How many of those can Extinguisher take?
Uh-oh! There goes some tires.
Yes! Team Gigabyte already celebrating. As for Extinguisher, that fire-themed robot may need to call the real fire department themselves if they don't throw in the towel here. This one looking like it's gonna be over.
10! He's getting counted out.
Yeah, this is gonna be it.
7!
Gigabyte is gonna keep its distance and save its shell. And pick up win number 1.
Knockout! Extinguisher! Gigabyte winner!
We might have some work to do.
Yeah, a little bit.
Kenny, that was the second straight fight Extinguisher whiffed on a box rush.
Yeah, if you give Gigabyte time to spin up, you're gonna feel the pain. Got that great hit on Extinguisher, and Extinguisher just wasn't right after that. Now here, his hammer's okay, and then watch this. This is the shot that twisted that hammer, and from there, they were sitting duck. Like, that hammer's not supposed to work that way.
Gigabyte was the clear favorite in this match, and they took care of their business. They not only won, but won in convincing fashion, improving their resume and making a statement. Up next, stay out of the water, because Sharko returns to the Battle Box to face Slapbox. That's when BattleBots Fight Night continues. We are back on BattleBots, and up next, a pair of bots that are on the opposite ends of the experience spectrum. It's Sharko and BattleBots veteran Edward Robinson versus Slapbox and the 14-year-old high school freshman Bryce Yankowskis. Kenny, it's a rookie squaring off against a builder who told us earlier this year that this is going to be his final season on BattleBots.
Well, for it being Ed's last season, he's really upgraded the robot. It used to be made out of recycled parts, but he's really put some money into this version of Sharko. And for Slapbox, you know, Bryce has no fear. He gave it his all against Tombstone in his first fight. He didn't win, but he definitely proved that Slapbox can hang with the big boys.
Should be a ton of fun to watch. Farouk, show us how it's done.
In the blue square, from Jacumba, California, the Deep Sea Slayer, Sharko!
Sharko lost a judge's decision to Smee first time around, and that bot looks way better than the one we saw in 2019.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You know, Sharko's a pretty powerful grappler, and a lot of times you can't really tell when it bites down how strong that is. That's 2,000 pounds of force. That's about 4 times harder than a real great white bite.
They have 30 shots in order to get it done before they run out of pressure on that bite.
In the red square, from Knox, Indiana, who's your daddy? It's Slapbox.
It is truly a family affair. Now, Slapbox is a rookie bot, but the Yankoskis family isn't new here. Dad Dominic was on Team Gemini last season. He and 11-year-old Hunter, the young guy on the left there, are part of Gemini this season as well. Kenny, what do you have working with Slapbox?
Well, with Slapbox, they have an extended front hinge lifter. They're going to try to get underneath Sharko and also utilize all the hazards of the battle box to win this fight. They're expecting to go the full 3 minutes against Sharko.
And just to make sure everybody's got a gig, the 8-year-old daughter, Onika, will be operating the flamethrower.
Tonight we're fighting Sharkorpion. My plan is to just stay in control of him the whole match, push him into the screws, use the hammers, really just use the box to my advantage. We have a flamethrower that we're going to be using in this match. My little sister is actually going to be controlling the flame. We will be ready for this fight tonight.
We've drawn Slapbox tonight. He always box rushes. What I'm going to do is wait for him to box rush, and I'm going to stop dead right in the middle of the arena. That'll make my face drop down, mouth wide open, just try to grab him right off the bat and take him around the arena. Sharks are apex predators, man. This guy's good, but he's still relatively new. When he gets in the box with the shark, he's gonna be nothing but chum.
Robots activate.
Let the bot battle begin. Here comes Slapbox trying to get underneath Sharko, and Sharko sheds a scale.
Nice little box rush there.
Whoa, look at that tail spin. Edward Robinson saying, come on, young buck, you want to wrestle?
Yeah, Ed is looking to get Sharko in position to open those jaws and clamp down on Slapbox. That's what he's hunting for.
Sharko pops that jaw open wide. Slapbox, it looks like they're having a bit of trouble getting traction on the battle box floor here. And Kenny, we've seen a lot of that with rookie drivers this season. There's the flamethrower the 8-year-old Onika's in charge of on Slapbox.
Yeah, Slapbox gonna continue to use that lifter to try and invert Sharko. If it can do that, Sharko's clamper will be much less of a threat.
Nearly a minute in, and oh, nice little bite by Sharko. Listen to Edward Robinson, how excited he is.
I love that evil laugh.
Listen to the team from Sharko, and they're like, fight.
Sharko scoring some points with that primary weapon, Chris.
And he's got another bite.
Oh! How about this?
Whoa!
He's turned the tables.
That was awesome. Slapbox can't shake the shark loose, so he just drags it across the battle box.
Sharko was able to get out of it, though. Kind of rolled out of it there, Chris.
Slapbox still in pursuit in what has been a very close fight. Oh,
look at this.
What a nice job by Slapbox, and now Sharko's driving on its head.
Little roasted shark.
That thing's got to flip back over in order to be most effective.
Oh, Slapbox burning the tail out of Sharko. Looking very much in control now.
Oh, look at Sharko trying to flip itself. Trying to get enough energy and then pop itself over with a little assist from Slapbox, who then flipped it back over.
It's important to cook your meat evenly on both sides, Chris.
Yes, 90 seconds on each side to be exact. Speaking of time, we got 45 seconds left in what has been a highly entertaining match between a 14-year-old and a shark. But Edward Robinson's bot looks like it might have had enough, showing very little movement right now. Sharko is trying to pop itself over, and now it's being counted out.
7,
Slapbox is going to be able to celebrate its first victory ever.
1, Sharko is knocked out winner, Slapbox.
Play. Do it.
We tried. Great fight. That was a great fight, man. That was awesome.
What great sportsmanship shown by Sharko as well. Saying amazing fight, a great fight. We agree all around. Kenny, sometimes you don't know what a fight's gonna look like, but this one was awfully entertaining.
Yeah, this was a great fight. There's Sharko getting a hold of Slapbox, trying to chew him up a little bit. Oh,
that's the move of the match.
Without a doubt. It was so good that the person who was in it respected it.
And then seconds later, Sharko gets flipped on over, and this was the beginning of the end for Edward Robinson.
That was suplex. Was beautiful. Boom!
Bryce, you just got victory #1 at BattleBots. How good does it feel?
It feels amazing. It was well worth it. We put in all the effort to repair after that fight with Tombstone. Feels great to be here. It's awesome.
Bryce, there was a lot of action in that fight, man. Can you take us through it?
Quite honestly, I don't remember most of it. I know we had a suplex and a couple flips in there. That's about it. That's all I remember.
Bryce, it was your sister that was actually operating the flamethrower. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
How'd she do?
She did a great job. How about you ask her yourself?
How about I do? So, did you have fun out there?
Yeah.
How fun is it to win a fight at BattleBots?
It's amazing.
Yeah? Do you still have to do school while you're here?
Yes.
Well, guess what? Take the day off after you just picked up a victory. Tell your parents I told you so, okay? All right, congratulations to Team Slapbox. Win #1. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Edward, I know that you guys would rather win, but if you're going to lose...
If you're gonna lose, that's the way to do it. That flaming suplex was beautiful, man. I love this.
And it's been a tough year for you. Your longtime partner in this sport, John Hoffman, you lost him because of cancer. How emotional has the last few months been for you?
It has been a roller coaster. This is the first time I've smiled since he went to the hospital, basically. I know I'm not gonna win the nut, but if I get one kid interested in this sport and he builds a robot and comes out here, I've done exactly what I wanted to do.
Edward Robinson, not all heroes wear capes, my friend. Thank you for providing some entertainment. You do! You do! Sometimes they do! Take a bow, Sharko, take a bow. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what BattleBots is all about. Ed's loss there gives the high school freshman his first win in his BattleBots career. That was flat out awesome. Up next, we're about to see a couple of 2-0 teams take the stage as Malice squares off against Mad Catter. When it comes to these two bots and the tournament, tonight, it's win and you're in. We are back on BattleBots, and what a night it's already been. Next up, a couple of undefeated teams get ready to square off in Malice and Mad Catter. And let's get ready to have some fun with this one because we're gonna run the emotional gamut with these two captains. It's pretty simple. Let's start with Malice and Bunny Sorial. For years, she's been a pit crew member for other teams. Finally gets to captain the ship, and she's 2-0. Oh my gosh!
Yes! That's how you do it!
We are learning she is one of the fiercest trash talkers in BattleBots. And Kenny, halfway through the qualifying rounds, she has this robot looking like it could do some serious damage in the tournament as well.
Just to be here, it's been a dream come true, and to go 2-0 at this point, and BattleBots is just amazing. Both of these guys are kind of the biggest characters that we have here at BattleBots, but her bot is the real deal as well.
Yeah, you're talking about Martin Mason from Mad Catter, also 2-0, just like Malice. Martin Mason is not like Bunny Sorial. He's like all over the place, energy, fun. He's a teacher at a community college. He's building up his students. They are a part of his pit crew. They build this bot. He's running 1,000 miles an hour, dude.
That's a nice way of saying he's completely out of his mind.
Right.
He's crazy. But you know what? Don't be distracted by the character. I've been telling you guys all season, this bot is legit. It can do some damage.
Yeah, and his students love him, or at least that's what they say to his face, so that they all get a good grade or something like that. This is going to be great. 2-0 against 2-0. Somebody's going to solidify their spot in the top 32 and maybe grab hold of a really good seeding as well. The selection committee is paying attention closely to this fight. Farouk, it's all on you now.
In the blue square from San Jose, where instead of California dreaming, you'll be California screaming. It's Malice!
Oh, she's bringing the cat food with her. Meow! Malice putting together a quality season so far, and one of the reasons is that weapon. It is so fierce, Kenny.
Yeah, they call that 65-pound disc Big Red, and you can see why. It's incredibly powerful. A little more cumbersome, though, than the weapon we saw them use in their win over another Hammerbot in Shatter, but I think that means they're preparing for an all-out brawl here, Chris.
In the red square, this cat comes equipped with a giant hammer to swing, and much like Simba, he just can't wait to be king. Beating him, he'll leave you with a scar just for trying, because there's nothing cowardly about this lion. It's Mad Catter!
A knockout of Fusion, a knockout of Ribot, en route to a 2-0 start. That's one mean kitty.
Yeah, Mad Catter's debuting their Flaming Hammer configuration tonight, and I cannot wait to see it in action. They really want to flip Malice over and then pound its slightly less armored underbelly with that new weapon tonight.
Against Mad Catter, we're going to be using the S7 tooth of Big Red. We're pretty sure they're going to run their big hammer. Normally we'd run Purple Paint against hammers, but with how long theirs is, we're pretty sure they're going to overshoot our robot. I think it would be the most important thing to get another win in this fight. The more wins you have, the more likely you're going to be able to get into the round of 32, and that's our end goal.
We've taken some measurements off of their bar. We're convinced we're going to be able to slide them up in the air and then hit the underside of their robot. There's a little story about a robot named Malice that followed a little bunny down a rabbit hole. And you know what was down in that rabbit hole? There was a tea party run by a Mad Catter. And at the end of that tea party, there was nothing left of Alice but crumbs.
It's Malice branded cat food.
Yeah?
Robots activate.
Kenny, Martin Mason may try to suplex you later, but he has a reason to be pumped up for this fight.
Yeah, you know, whoever wins this is basically guaranteed a spot in the round of 32. The stakes are very high for both of these squads.
Malice, Mad Catter, two undefeated teams looking to keep their perfect seasons intact. The gloves come off when BattleBots Fight Night continues. We are back on BattleBots, and we are all set for a meeting between a couple of undefeated teams. It's Malice facing off against Mad Catter. Whoever can get to 3-0 here will basically solidify their spot in the round of 32.
Blue team ready. Red team ready.
Yeah! Yeah!
Bunny Sorial captaining Malice. Martin Mason for Mad Catter. Let the bot battle begin.
It might be a battle to see who can disable whose primary weapon.
Couple of big shots in the early going, and Malice getting thrown around a little bit. Oh, standing up.
He's teed up. He's teed up, Chris.
Whoa, look at this. Malice is trying to shake itself so that it can get its wheels back on the ground. And Mad Catter's just going to let it stand there. Oh, come on.
Get in there, Gassy Cat. Come on. Come on, big fella. There you go. There you go.
Wow, lighten it up. But Buddy Sorial's bot's still flailing like a turtle on its back. Well, Malice has got to do something. It's trying to shift itself.
Come on, come on.
Can it get itself over? It's close. It's close.
Come on.
10.
No, Malice is getting counted down. And Mad Catter's just standing there looking at it saying, I'll take the W, thank you. Tip it over.
3, 2,
Nope.
1.
Oh.
Come on, guys.
No, we're good, we're good.
A win for a hammer.
Well, Kenny, a lot happened in a little bit of time, so why don't you break it down for us?
Chris, both teams came out aggressive. Their box rushes almost looked like a choreographed dance. But after an explosive start for both bots, Mad Catter clipped Malice's left wheel and gave it just a perfect touch. I can't blame Martin Mason for laying off there, but I do have to wonder what would have happened if Malice stopped spinning its weapon. That rotational momentum makes it harder to move. It's physics, Chris.
Martin Mason.
Yeah!
Hey! How's 3-0 sound?
You know, it feels great. I got a great crew. I got a great robot. It is driving fantastic. Everything is dialed in. You've seen 3 different styles from us. You got a lot more to see. And how about that flaming hammer? Those flames are fantastic.
Hey, Martin, there's people that are watching on TV at home that were rooting for you to help flip Malice back over so the fight can continue. Did you consider that at all?
You know, Bunny is an incredible captain. David is my former teammate. He's a great strategist. We're not going to give him. If they're going to give us the win, we're going to take it.
All right, so what about all your kids that you teach at community college? Are they getting straight A's this semester or what?
You know what? My students get the grades they earn. They work their tails off. You see the results in there.
Okay. Martin Mason, congratulations to you and your entire crew. You get straight A's from us. Good job. Martin Mason and Mad Catter, 3-0. Who would have thunk it?
Unbelievable, man. They really have brought a very intense bot, a very potent bot. They're making the right changes with their weapons. This is a serious team.
It feels like at least a top 15 team, maybe even top 10 at this point.
It could very well be, yeah.
And what about big picture for Malice? Because I know that Bunny probably feels like that's a missed opportunity, that if we don't land on our backside, we're the ones that are 3-0.
It was kind of unlucky there, but, you know, obviously now they have some information. They do not want this to happen again. They need a way to self-right or at least get back onto the floor.
How do you adjust? That's the name of the game in BattleBots. All right, so Martin Mason and Mad Catter stay undefeated, and we are now inching closer and closer to a main event that is sure to pack a punch. We'll see Uppercut take on Sawblades as Alex Hattori tries to best his former teammate and mentor, Jamison Go. But up next, it's a pair of teams looking for redemption after their first fights. It's Adam 94 and Tantrum when we return on BattleBots. Welcome back to BattleBots. We've already seen some all-out brawls on the fight card, and the night promises to only get better. We are just 2 fights away from what should be an explosive main event. In the meantime, let's turn our attention to a pair of robots trying to break into the win column for the first time this season, and let's start with a rookie bot. Adam 94, captained by Yash Deshmukh. He is the first Indian builder in the history of BattleBots. Not super excited that he lost his BattleBots debut, but he's always smiling because he feels like he's always learning here.
Yeah, you gotta love his passion. Didn't have the best matchup against Big Dill. Wasn't able to get it done, but I think they're gonna make the right adjustments to be back better.
They are taking on a bot named Tantrum. We've seen it years before with Aaron Hill. Even though it lost its opening match against Valkyrie, I imagine that Aaron Hill is feeling pretty good about his robot.
He was looking very dominant. I mean, as I was watching that fight, I said, this is a bot that can really go very, very far. At the end of the day, as a bot builder, you want to make sure that your bot is working properly. He struggled with that primary weapon last season. That looks like a serious weapon this season. If he can make the right tweaks, he could maybe get the top 32 at least.
Let's see how it does tonight. Farouk?
In the blue square, from Mountain View, California, it's got its eyes on you. Don't upset it, or else it will throw a tantrum!
Again, Kenny, Tantrum is looking for their first W of the season here, and we can already see some of the changes that they made as a result of their last fight.
Yeah, notice the fists are gone, Chris. They had to lose those in order to make room for the weight of additional batteries. They ran out of juice in that Valkyrie fight, which probably cost them the win.
In the red square, from Calgary, he says it's designed by our mind to kick your behind. Adam 94.
Adam 94 didn't have the debut they were looking for, Kenny, but their captain, Yash Deshmukh, is still sounding pretty confident.
Well, they completely redid the weapon drivetrain after their first fight, so they're looking to show what it can actually do tonight. And don't forget, Ray Billings of Tombstone mentors these guys, so you know he had some words of wisdom for Yash after their first fight.
Facing up against Adam 94, we're feeling pretty confident in this fight, just based on how we performed in our first one and the upgrades we have made. The strategy early on is going to be get our setup up to full potency as far as weapon goes, see how they're driving around, and then that'll dictate whether or not we try lining up perfect punches or just take any ones we can dish.
The weapon design which we are using, it would be getting the chunks out of metal rather than hitting and creating sparks. If we are able to get that, after that I don't think that Tandem might be able to make any difference. I'm just thinking about the drivetrain and the traction of the bot on the BattleBots arena. That's the only one thing which I'm concerned right now. Other than that, like, I'm ready to go.
Robots activate.
Okay, let's bring in our bot whisperer, Peter Abramson. Pete, Aaron Hill's made some tweaks to Tantrum. What do you know about it?
So one of the things I was noticing on Tantrum over there, they've taken off the big rubber fists and the flamethrowers off their self-riding mechanism. They've also added a few long forks. Hopefully that won't hinder the punch of their weapon as it comes forward, because they still need to get that other robot up in front of their wheel.
Thanks, Pete.
Blue team ready. Red team ready.
Let the bot battle begin. Adam 94 has that weapon up to speed. Tantrum hanging. Oh!
Nice shot there by Adam 94.
Tantrum in trouble here out of the gate, but manages to self-right and escape.
Come on.
Here comes Tantrum, approaching with those forks.
Getting underneath Adam 94, taking it for a little ride.
Ooh, and Tantrum almost does itself in on the screws.
Oh, nice!
Big-time sparks and a good kiss shot, too, by Tantrum.
Aaron Hill winning the battle for low ground here, getting that puncher underneath Adam 94 and going to work.
Now, Yash Deshmukh has got to drive away from Tantrum, but he can't get his wheels on the floor, Kenny.
Tantrum doing a great job attacking from the back. And, That might have been the kill shot right there. I don't think Adam 94 is going to recover from that, Chris.
No, it can spin its weapon, but it can't flip back over. Let the countdown commence. This is going to do it. Listen to the roar of Tantrum's weapon as Adam 94 lies helpless.
That's what I call a knockout, Chris. That's the Tantrum we've been waiting to see.
Kenny, Aaron Hill knew exactly what he had to do tonight, and he did it.
Yeah, Adam 94 landed that big blow early on, but Tantrum did not waver from their game plan. Aaron Hill used those forks brilliantly, propping up Adam 94 up again and again to just let their spinner go to town. Tantrum the robot was impressive, but this was really a testament to Aaron Hill's driving. He was so calculated, and that got them a much-needed victory.
All right, it looks like the crew from Tantrum is all smiles under that mask. Aaron Hill, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. These are nice and shiny, recently disinfected. We're all good to go.
All right. So,
got some good hits in.
Yeah, it felt better, I imagine, than the first match?
Yeah, it did. Well, the first one did feel pretty good, so I'm saying we lost to ourselves on that.
Aaron, it seems like you guys have really dialed in that bot and also getting very comfortable driving Tantrum. Is that the case?
Yeah, this last off season, I put in a lot of hours running that thing around. It gives me a lot more confidence to see what it can take and just go for it.
So do you think you have done enough through 2 fights to impress the selection committee to get to the round of 32?
Between the 2 fights we have so far, I'm feeling real confident. I'm hoping we get a good draw for the 3rd one, keep up that strength of schedule, get a good seed.
Aaron Hill, congratulations. Nice job by Team Tantrum.
Thank you.
Big picture, how much damage can this robot do if it does make it to the round of 32?
Did you hear that thing? It really did sound like a Minotaur, like a jet engine is starting to get fired up. That is a very potent weapon. He proved it again. Just the whole bot in general is compact, it's solid, it's durable now. These guys can go very far.
All right, let's pretend that this jib camera in front of us is the selection committee. You can either nod, yes, or you can say no. Are you impressed so far with Tantrum? Yeah,
yes.
I thought so. Okay, Aaron Hill, that's good news. You're not in yet, but you impressed them. All right, coming up, we still have 4 more teams that want a head nod from the selection committee, just as bad as Aaron Hill. But with just 2 fights left in the night, let's take a look at our main event.
Our first fight of the year, we fought Whiplash.
Oh!
I think it went pretty well.
Winner, Sawblade!
We came out with a KO victory.
What a performance there from Jamison Go and Team Sawblade.
1-0 is a great start, but we have another tough opponent in Uppercut.
You're gonna take one straight to the gut from Uppercut.
Uppercut last season, they proved a lot by making it to the top 16, which is a big deal.
That's something we didn't really think would happen.
And this season, they had a knockout win very quickly over Gemini.
From what I heard, it's the first time it's happened in BattleBots history that Gemini has been knocked out.
Kenny, what the hell just happened?
I'm sorry, guys.
It's clear Uppercut has an extremely powerful weapon, but it makes the robot really difficult to control.
Uppercut trying to get that knockout punch.
So what we're gonna try and do is to get around them, get the shots we want, and dodge that weapon altogether.
Oh, Sawblade attacking from behind. This is amazing driving right now from Jamison Go.
This year, we've had these huge torque upgrades. The blade gets to deadly speeds in about a second.
Well done, you guys keep getting better.
Our goal is just to keep the front end facing him so he can't really drop that hammer saw on us.
What I'm most concerned about fighting Uppercut is my own personal feelings for Alex Satori. He's one of my best friends. I met Alex around 2016 at MIT. My team introduced him into the world of combat robotics.
How about the kids from MIT?
I was a member of Sawblaze in the 2018 season, and I learned a ton from working with Jamison and the other people.
Now that he's, split off, it's really great to see his development as a robot fighter. It's gonna be really tough to fight him.
Out of the entire competition, Jameson's one of the last people I want to fight. But even when you're competing against your friends, you're still gonna try your hardest. And so we're gonna spin up that blade, we're gonna hit, and it means someone's gonna lose.
I've always thought of Alex kind of like my apprentice. I taught him everything that I know.
He's got a big future, this kid.
Let's see if the student can become the master.
Whoa! We're not gonna hold back in this fight, but one can hope that it's not too destructive for either one.
But if we can get a KO, I think it guarantees our spot in the tournament. Forget the rest of the tournament, it's all about this fight.
Welcome back to BattleBots, where we are driving toward tonight's main event. But first, as we move closer to this year's tournament, it's time to talk power rankings. And Kenny, you've put together a list that should be fun for the fans to debate.
That's right, Chris. Now, I know this might set the internet on fire, but here's my breakdown of the most dangerous weapons here in this season's qualifying rounds of BattleBots. Kicking things off at number 10 is Gruff's Flamethrower, which just cooked Will Bales in Hypershock earlier this season.
Oh! Wow, look at the flamethrowers on that.
A few slots down, we see Beats' Hammer.
Oh, it's hammer time.
Now, they didn't fire it in their first fight, but we have seen what it can do in the test box. It's gone from an electric to pneumatic power source, and according to John Reed and Gabriel Stroud, the impact is equivalent to a washing machine dropping on you from about a 2-story building. At 7 and 6 respectively, it's Valkyrie and Rotator. We saw the damage they did to each other.
Unbelievable, the sparks that are flying in this one.
What a fight that was. Now, Bloodsport might be a little bit of a surprise at 5.
Whoa, holy smokes, Bloodsport on the attack.
But their new blade is 77 pounds of solid S7 tool steel. They've got 2 huge wins over Scorpios and Endgame, and the kinetic energy that thing produces is equivalent to a blast from a 35-pound cannonball.
Whoa!
In our top spots, we have 2 of our most powerful vertical spinners, and then Hydra's Flipper, which has kept them undefeated in the qualifying rounds dating back to last season.
Hydra is just dominating right now.
But it's no surprise who's number 1. We strapped an accelerometer to Tombstone's bar, more than 200 Gs of centripetal acceleration. That's not quite a helicopter blade, but it's getting there. Frankly, it's hard not to have Ray Billings and Tombstone in the number 1 spot.
Good job, Kenny. Do yourself a favor and don't check your mentions. Up next, it's a fight that we could have had in one of the 5 boroughs. A pair of New Yorkers, Joe Fabiani, who lives in Manhattan. He is the captain of SME, and he's taking on Pain Train and Evan Arias, who currently lives in Staten Island.
Yeah, Chris, neither of these guys had the debuts they wanted, but they both had a ton of success in the beat-away robot fighting division, so they know how to build great bots and drive them, but they have to prove they can do it here in the big leagues.
I think this is a good matchup for both these guys.
And let's see if the person working the jerseys and the sewing can keep the E's on this time, because it went from SME to SME. Lost all the E's inside the box. Farouk, do your thing.
In the blue square, from New York City, if he can beat you there, he can beat you anywhere. It's Smee!
There it is, Smee, and you have to see this thing to believe it. It is 14 feet long, or about the length of your typical mid-size sedan.
Yeah, Joe built this spot out of his apartment at NYU. It features 2 horizontal spinners at the tips, and it's meant to wrap around its opponent like a snake and chip away.
In the red square, from New York City, the monster of Manhattan, Pain Train!
Here's Team Pain Train looking like they're straight out of that movie, The Warriors. And get this, the same motors that are powering Smee are used by Pain Train, which is about 1/10 of the size.
Yeah, it's a quick, compact bot, Chris. It features an egg beater-style drum that spins at 250 miles an hour, which is fast enough to dish out some damage if Evan can put himself in position to make contact.
Pain Train has very sharp wedges on the front, which have a risk of getting under us because they're steel, and whereas we're plastic. If they get under us, they get a good hit with their drum and flip us over. That would be very, very hard for us. They're actually a local New York team, so they're on Staten Island, we're in Manhattan, and we've known each other for a while. They're a fearsome drum spinner, they have really good weapon, and he's a great driver, so it's a tough fight.
My strategy going into tonight's fight is going head-on with Smee and taking out those wheels the second I get behind him. For this fight, I did a few modifications. I made sure I lowered my speed down on my driving just to make sure I could get sharper turns on Joe because his robot's a little more obtuse. It's the biggest robot here going against the smallest robot, and we're ready to get in the arena and tear up a little bit of Smee.
Robots activate.
Smee, obviously one of the more unique robots, but those disc spinners you mentioned are no joke, Kenny.
Each blade is 17 pounds, and those things spin at 230 miles an hour. Let's see if they can attack the flanks and try to get to the wheels of Pain Train.
Blue team ready. Red team ready.
Let's do it, Evan.
Pain Train, Smee in the Battle of NYC. Let the bot battle begin. Smee on the attack, and let's see if it can wrap all the way around Pain Train.
Smee is trying to envelop Pain Train, not quite able to do it.
We gotta get under him.
Both bots probing, looking for that best angle of attack.
There's some damage from Smee.
Yeah, took a shot. Did Pain Train. Thanks to those horizontal spinners on the side. Once again, they spin at 230 miles an hour. Okay, Smee trying to whip itself around Pain Train. Such a unique design.
Looks like Pain Train just confused as to how to even deal with Smee.
Get in there, yes!
But you can hear that spinner firing up. Now it's just got to deliver a shot. It's having some driving issues, real driving issues.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's traction or the weapon momentum. Either way, Evan is struggling.
Yeah, this is a problem. I mean, the weapon sounds great. It just can't find a piece of Smee to
there you go.
Yeah! Pain Train draws first blood, rip it off one of Smee's two horizontal spinners.
Yeah, and that is going to affect the way Smee can drive, Chris. Smee may just be moving in circles from here on out.
Listen to that. Pain Train's weapon sounds intimidating, Kenny, but it's really those forks on the front that have been jabbing away at Smee most of the night, trying to score some points.
And for Smee, they've done a good job of trying to control the ring, not letting Pain Train get behind them for a kill shot.
Pain Train staying aggressive.
We gotta get behind him.
Smee with some ground to make up here. Remember, Pain Train has disabled one of their two spinners. Whoa!
Oh! Oh, yeah!
Whoa, the weapon has come totally off of Pain Train. Unbelievable, what a shot by Smee. But it looks like that impact has knocked out their weapon as well.
Pain Train is literally falling apart in the battle box right now.
Not good.
So we are under 30 seconds to go. Can both of these bots continue to fight? That is the question.
Oh, man, Pain Train is just a shell right now. But Smee really isn't moving too well either, is it?
So if you're keeping score, Pain Train has lost its main weapon. Smee has lost both of its weapons, and this one is going to go the distance. We're done,
That was something.
Both drivers looking relieved to have survived that fight. And that means it is now in the hands of the judges. Jason Bardis, Lisa Winner, and Derek Young. So Smee was trying to fully encapsulate Pain Train. It didn't quite work, Kenny.
No, he didn't. And let's be honest, neither of these spots lived up to the hype in this fight. They've got some work to do.
Now, Pain Train did get a big-time shot right on the side of Smee, knocking off that horizontal spinner. But then Pain Train, as things were going swimmingly for it, uh-oh.
Yep, and that was a direct hit from the horizontal spinner of Smee, just completely disabling the primary weapon of Pain Train. See you later.
The results from the judges are in. We have a split decision. Judge Jason scored the battle for Pain Train. Judge Lisa scored the battle for Smee. Judge Derek scored the battle for the winner, Pain Train.
Oh my God.
Evan.
Yes.
Congratulations on win number 1.
Thank you.
For a guy who has dreamed about this his entire life, ever since he grew up in the New York City projects as a little kid, what does it mean to you?
It's a dream come true, really. Nothing means more than this.
You know, Smee is such an unusual bot. What was your game plan heading into this?
I had to slow down my speed controls to stay really on top of the game. Last fight, I was a little switchy, a little everywhere. So now this fight, I feel more focused. And for the next fight, I'm ready to get back in and take care of my wheelie situation.
So, Evan, be honest. When you lost your main weapon and were barely moving, did you think you had lost this fight?
No, you never give up. With or without a weapon, you gotta drive, you keep going.
So, Evan, what has this experience been like for you as a guy who probably thought he would never end up here, and here you are?
It feels unreal. I think I'm gonna have to pinch myself a few times throughout the day.
Evan, go celebrate with your team. Congratulations on your first ever BattleBots victory.
Thank you.
And congratulations to Evan Arias and Team Pain Train. That weapon, it was working really well the first 90 seconds. They got some driving issues. If they get that fixed, they're going to be an interesting robot.
Yeah, they were better than last time. They weren't wobbling around as much, so he's getting there. He's almost there.
Both these teams, 1-1. Coming up, a box-shaking, bot-breaking, my legs are shaking main event. It's Sawblaze versus Uppercut, a colossal collision. Next on BattleBots. We are back on BattleBots and Kenny Florian. It is time right now for our main event. It is a tasty one. A pair of teams from MIT. You've got Jameson Go and Sawblaze. Uppercut captained by Alex Satori. You'd think maybe there's some animosity, maybe some bragging rights on the line. Doesn't sound like it at all, huh?
Yeah, not really the battle for MIT necessarily. Perhaps a battle of master versus student, maybe something like that. We know Jameson was kind of a mentor to Alex getting into the sport, but Jameson's girlfriend Lucy, who's also on Team Sawblaze, was actually Alex's TA back at MIT, so the connections between these two teams run incredibly deep.
Alex Satori actually came out and told us, hey, listen, if there is no Sawblaze, there is no Uppercut. But don't mistake that for the fact that both these guys want to win and know how important it is.
And this is really Alex Satori's chance to prove that they truly are top contenders for the Giant Nut this season. I mean, Gemini isn't quite on the same level as Sawblaze, but Uppercut was able to completely incapacitate Gemini in just 12.9 seconds, Chris. They are just so incredibly powerful.
But hey, that hammer saw on Sawblaze, it's no joke either.
Yeah, I mean, it absolutely shredded the armor on Whiplash in that first fight. That thing packs a punch.
For more on this story with kind of an interesting twist, we head over to the pits and Jenny Taft.
Well, guys, the saw on Sawblaze might not look like the one from your woodworking class, but the physics behind that lethal weapon are the same as any chop saw.
Oh!
Sawblaze on the attack.
At just 19 pounds and about a 12-inch diameter, the weapon on Sawblaze can't produce the same amount of kinetic energy as some of the bigger ones we see in the battle box.
Oh!
But because of its design, Jameson Go's hammer saw can be just as effective. It starts with Sawblaze's articulated arm, which is able to land a strike in just 0.25 of a second. That's almost twice as fast as a strike from an attacking rattlesnake. And when this weapon connects, its half-inch blade applies force over a tiny area. And since pressure is equal to force divided by surface area, that means each strike imparts a ton of pressure. Now, all forces have an equal and opposite reaction. And because the rotation of the weapon pulls the target into Sawblaze's plow, the plow pushes back, and this keeps the opponent stationary. And like splitting wood down the center versus hitting it from the side, the combination of forces ensures the opponent absorbs the full impact from the hammer saw, helping it even cut through military-grade tank armor.
Son of Waiachi's smoking!
And that's why, although Sawblaze may not be able to launch bots across the arena, the damage it can do has the potential to be even more deadly.
Incredible stuff, Jenny. Between these two weapons and the MIT whiz kids who built them, there's a lot to love about this matchup.
This should be a great fight.
Somebody's about to improve to 2-0. Farouk, let's find out which one.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's robot fighting time! In the blue square, the engineer is named Jameson, and the whiskey is like his bot. He'll pound you and chase you if you're taking a shot. Try not to whine when he bot crushes you. That happens a lot. He has a plan to kill a bot. Like it or not, it's Sawblaze!
Sawblaze and Jameson Go had maybe their most impressive victory ever in BattleBots when they knocked out Whiplash. This thing is rocking, Kenny.
Jameson just continues to improve as a driver, and I love the saw, but don't forget about his flamethrower either. Some serious heat coming from that thing.
In the red square, if you think you're a contender, drop in a quarter. But just like Glass Joe being led to slaughter, it's gonna be body blow, knock him out. Because other robots punch in, but they don't punch out. It's uppercut!
Team Uppercut had an impressive rookie season in 2019, so the sky's the limit this year, it seems. But Kenny, that's a different weapon than the one they used against Team Gemini.
Yeah, this bar has a sharper edge and is more suited to pierce into an opponent. And with a driver like Jameson, they don't think they're gonna have the chance to line up a shot like they did against Gemini. So they're gonna try to do damage whenever they can.
Let's bring in our bot whisperer, Peter. All right, Pete, who's got the edge in this one?
It's difficult to actually have an edge in this one because if Sawblaze gets in front of Uppercut, it's all on Uppercut. If Sawblaze gets to the sides of Uppercut, it's all on Sawblaze. Like, this is going to be a tough match for both. It's going to come down to probably Jameson's driving, if it's going to be the win, or one really good hit by Uppercut.
In the sports cliche world, we call this a toss-up. There we go.
Robots activate.
Well, it's a story as old as time. The Master and the Apprentice. Will Alex Hattori solidify Uppercut as a team to beat this season? Or will Jameson Go continue to show that his team is one of the most dominant forces in combat robotics? We'll find out when we return on BattleBots. Unreal! Look at the sparks! This is awesome!
When two bots collide, we know there are some serious forces at play, but What specifically caused all the sparks during the clash between Valkyrie and Rotator?
Some of these shots have just been insane.
Well, both have weapons made out of AR-500 steel. This abrasion-resistant material is incredibly strong and not very malleable.
Oh, there's another big shot from Valkyrie.
So, during the collision, instead of losing big chunks or getting bent,
this is some amazing driving.
Pieces of the weapons break off into microscopic flakes. And when friction transforms some of the blade's kinetic energy into thermal energy, those fragments of steel become tinder.
Do both these bots have enough strength to make it the distance?
For one of the greatest light shows the Battle Box has ever seen.
Unreal!
Think about that when you're watching this next fight.
Welcome back to BattleBots. We are mere seconds away from our main event. Alex Hattori's uppercut is building a reputation as one of the most powerful weapons in this competition. While Jameson Go's saw blaze is already considered to be a top contender for the Giant Nut. Either way, Kenny, this one's gonna be a blast.
Y'all ready?
Ah, the funky chicken.
Team Uppercut managing to stay loose over there.
Sawblaze trying to get around to the side of Uppercut. Oh! Who just punted Sawblaze? Is it out of the arena? Look at Jameson Go somehow get back in there.
Oh my goodness!
My gosh!
That was an actual explosion in the battle box. Whoa!
That was unbelievable. Uppercut continuing to go to work.
Chris, this is an extremely powerful weapon. Wow!
Jameson Go is drowning Kenny, being picked apart by his own student. Oh! Look at the power as it's just destroying Sawblaze. Unreal.
Looks like I should have had Uppercut on my top weapons list. My bad.
Jameson Go and Sawblaze cannot move. 10, they're being counted 9, down. 8, wow. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, performance by the youngsters from MIT.
Whoa!
Good kick. That was something special.
Did you feel the heat?
Peter, that explosion happened right in front of you. Do you still have eyebrows?
Barely. That thing was amazing. Their whole flamethrower system was just torn apart by Uppercut in one fell swoop.
Peter, you've been around this sport for more than 2 decades. I can't imagine you've seen something like that happen too many times.
No, usually everybody's like fuel tanks are deeply protected, and that was one of those moments. Wow.
Unbelievable.
This is great.
So what do you think now of Team Uppercut?
They have so advanced in my book. I mean, that was like we saw this kind of damage from Monsoon. We've seen this kind of damage from Tombstone. I mean, that was serious.
Boy, Uppercut from the get-go, Kenny. They had a plan, they stuck to it.
Yeah, and they weren't messing around either. Jameson Go made an uncharacteristic driving error, exposing his flank early, and Uppercut shot them out of a cannon. Just a perfect strike.
Sawblaze was a sitting duck after that, which led to one of the craziest moments we've ever seen inside the battle box. Boom! Uppercut ripping into Sawblaze's pressurized tank and just about singeing the eyebrows off of the crew's faces.
There goes the flames, and the judges almost went with it.
And once again, that shot, the explosion, Pete, unbelievable pictures.
That was right in front of me. nearly killed Jason Barnes.
Boom! Wow. Yeah, the judges actually said they felt the heat from that explosion. That is crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to reintroduce you to Alex Hattori and Team Uppercut. What a moment. Alex Hattori, what the heck is it like when you create a fireball inside the battle box?
It's terrifying. The whole fight was terrifying.
But a good terrifying, right?
Yeah, we stayed spun up the whole time, so we're really happy with how that went.
All right, Alex, you saw it in real life. Now take a look at the monitor here and tell us exactly what your game plan was when you went after the tank.
So we knew that JMO he's a fantastic driver, and so we just wanted to stay away from the wall. So we spun up the blade, got to the center of the arena so we could try and not get pinned by him.
Dude, how cool is that, though?
Oh, man.
That's one of the most epic hits we've ever seen.
Oh, thank you.
Well, Alex, congratulations. That was an amazing show as you guys improved to 2-0.
Thank you.
Jameson, go. You all right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I wish I could say more for the bot.
So what is it like when your bot turns into a ball of fire?
Oh, you know, sometimes it happens. I'm more impressed just to see my guy grow up, you know. Alex Hattori, mentoring him for a long time. Now he's doing quite well, so cheers to him.
Have you ever been knocked out like that? I mean, that's a powerful weapon, man.
The robot to come closest to that was probably Witch Doctor. So that's a new record for us. And I mean, that's all more power to them, so cheers.
Jameson, go. We will see you down the line. Take care of your bot.
Thank you very much.
Alex, very impressive. When he booted Gemini across the box, we went, okay, that was kind of cool.
Right.
When you knock off Sawblaze, which was the 7th overall seed in 2019, now you're making a name for yourself.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm sure he got the attention of every team out there. Knocking out Sawblaze, wow. But did you notice Alex's demeanor when we just talked to him? I think he was genuinely sad that he demolished his buddy's robot.
Yeah, Jameson Go and his team are going to have some serious repairs to do after basically having like a stick of dynamite go off inside their robot. Makes for great television, though. But what a spectacular finish to an unforgettable night. We kicked things off with a fight for the ages as Valkyrie triumphed over Rotator, moving to 2-0. Rotator, of course, still winless in the qualifying round.
Yeah, 2 hard-fought losses for Victor, but if he doesn't win his next fight, his season could be over.
Mad Catter finishes the qualifiers at a perfect 3-0. They're the first team to accomplish that feat this season. Aaron Hill and Tantrum seem to right the ship tonight. They move to 1-1 and are looking like a team we'll need to keep our eye on. And we could not have asked for a better ending. Uppercut solidifies themselves as a certified contender with an explosion big enough for a Michael Bay movie. Did you have fun tonight?
I had a blast.
Another good evening around here for Jenny Taft and Farouk and our bot whisperer Pete and my man Kenny Florian. I'm Chris Rose, and we'll see you next time on BattleBots.